Hey, welcome back. Alright, today's video is going to be about sugar, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm actually a visual learner. I like to see things when I'm learning something. So we're going to get on a bit more of the technical side when it comes to the sugar. So I actually made a little hand drawing recording and we're going to watch that. So let me get that started. I think my camera's having trouble with the hat seeing my face. I made sure that focus is in this time. Alright, so technical term, we got saccharide, and those are sugar molecules. So anything you see with saccharide at the end of it, it's going to be a sugar. You got monosaccharide, that equals 1. You got disaccharide, which is 2. And then you have tri/polysaccharide, which is 3 or more. Monosaccharide is one block of sugar or one molecule of sugar. Disaccharide is 2 molecules of sugar, and tri or poly is 3 or more molecules of sugar, and they're all connected. But some examples of a monosaccharide is glucose and fructose. Fructose, it sounds a lot like fruit, and it's actually sugar that derived from fruit. A common disaccharide is sucrose, and again, it's a disaccharide, which means it has 2 units of sugar. Am I saying that right? 2 units of sugar? 2 molecules of sugar. I'm going to say 2 molecules. And what was interesting I found out is that starch is also a sugar. It's a polysaccharide. So right here, oats, on the very top right up here, that is also a sugar. So glucose, fructose, sucrose, all sugars. Here I am drawing the visual representation of what these a very simplified visual representation of what these sugars look like. They're 1 unit that are connected. Alright, so sucrose, it's a disaccharide, so it's 2. But it's actually 1 glucose and 1 fructose that have been joined together. And that creates a sucrose. And then I'm a visual learner, more visual representation. Representation. Don't you just hate how when you say words they don't sound right? Skipping it up. Alright, so example of sucrose, we got honey, we got table sugar, we have corn sugar, we got maple sugar. Sucrose is basically the sugar that you're going to run into the most over-the-counter processed. And the reason why is because it's incredibly sweet. And it is pretty easy to ferment. Alright, so now we're going to talk about inverted sugar. Now, inverted sugar is basically a chemical reaction or a chemical process where we're going to take a disaccharide and we're going to convert it into a monosaccharide. And how do you do that? We're going to break the chain that connects them. That chemical bond. We're going to break it. We're going to shatter it. It's going to be full of monosaccharide. It's going to be full of glucose and fructose that are not going to be connected. And you can do that with any disaccharide. So you can do it with honey, you can do it with table sugar. Table sugar is the most common. Maple sugar, it's all the same thing. I haven't done this before, but you put it on the stove, you add your sugar, you add water, and you add I believe it's an acid, and I believe an acid like lemon juice can work just as well. You put it on the heat, you stir it up. As far as the recipe on how to do it, like how much water you put, for how much sugar you put, for how much lemon juice you put, I don't know, I haven't done the research. But that's the general basic on how you do it. So the question is, why do we do that? Why do we take a disaccharide and turn it into a monosaccharide? It's very simple. Alright, so imagine taking this tree and we're going to pretend it's a disaccharide, or really what it should be is a polysaccharide, and we are the yeast, and we're told to take that sucker down. Fuck no. So, as the brewers, what we can do is we can take this complex chemical structure that is sugar, like a polysaccharide, and we can break it down ourselves so that the yeast are able to handle the load. We're able to consume the sugar. And it puts less stress on the sugar, which in turn doesn't really, well, it puts less stress on the sugar it puts less stress on the yeast, and less stress on the yeast means they're able to reproduce easier, they have a healthy environment, they're able to stay happy basically. Their condition is favorable for reproduction, growth. I can't speak today. And just all around just being good. So, as the brewers, we take this large complex sugar molecule, or sugar chain, and we take the branches off first. Then we divide the trees. Then we get the tree cutter and we split the woods. So then the yeast can actually use it. They can use the tree. They can be a part of it. Inverted sugar is a very similar process. But to get something like, I don't know if you can use inverted sugar on a trisaccharide. I don't know. I haven't done the research on it. But I do know for a polysaccharide, like starch, you need to use an enzyme. I can't remember what the enzyme's name is. I'll put it underneath here. But that enzyme is the same enzyme that is in our saliva. That also helps break down our food. And that enzyme is what's going to take that tree and break it down, or that sugar, and break it down into the molecules. It's going to break it down into the disaccharide sugar or the monosaccharide sugar. It's going to break down the chain. I need to get better at explaining this stuff, man, or I need to write me a script. I just get on the camera and I roll and I go. See, at the yeast, I can't take that tree down, no matter how hard I swing. Ugh. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed me rambling about sugar. I hope you learned something. If I didn't make anything clear, or if you still have questions about something, just leave a comment below and I'll answer it as best I can. So, I appreciate you watching. Thanks. Have a good one.